Internet scams. The idea is not new, but these scammers are always coming up with new techniques to try and trick people and keep ahead of them. So today we're going to go over 5 different internet scams, and most of these are pretty new that you might not have heard of before, so it should be pretty interesting and you'll be able to avoid these in the future. Alright, now first up we have a new variation on the common Windows tech support scam. So usually you know that these people will call you up, they'll call random numbers, and assuming that most people have Windows computers, they'll say, oh, we're from Microsoft, or we're from Windows, and say that you have a virus on your computer, whatever, and we're going to help you fix it. And of course, they install some sort of virus on your computer that allows them to control it, take all your info, and all that sort of thing. The idea is not new, but there is one new technique that was actually discovered by a YouTuber, Kit Boga. So this is how it goes. Basically, they call you up, they give you the whole spiel, like I said before, oh, your computer's on fire, whatever, we'll fix it for you. And then they eventually get you to download some software, Log Me and Rescue, which in itself is not a malicious program. It's legitimate in that tech support people can use it to remote in your computer and fix things. But what happens is these scammers will tell you to go to a website. And the website is actually a real Microsoft website, which is support.microsoft.com/help. And it can't look like a more legitimate website URL. I mean, if you've had someone on the phone saying you're from Microsoft and they're telling you to go to this URL, you'd probably believe them. And the thing is that this is an actual page that Microsoft will use as part of their tech support. And this is just like an agreement page, which then goes to the next step, which actually allows you to connect to them. But what happens is this agreement page doesn't really discriminate between whether you're going to be connecting to a Microsoft employee or some random person who is hosting a Log Me and Rescue session. So what happens is after you click the accept button on this page, it'll have you enter a code. And this is a code that the scammer will provide to you because, like I said, they're hosting a connection which the software will give them a code for the client to connect to. And then what will happen is that client, or the scamee, as you will, the victim, will put that in, and then that will cause their logman software to connect to whoever has that code, whether it's a Microsoft employee or not. And in this case, it is the scammer. So these people are putting this code in thinking, oh, this is going to connect me to Microsoft, when really it's not necessarily true. In this case, it's connecting them to the scammer, but they think they're safe because it's on the Microsoft page. And what's really devious about this is even if the person is really suspicious, you know, they're like, I don't know if this is really Microsoft. Once they get directed to an actual Microsoft website, they're thinking, oh, well, it must be legitimate. So to avoid this scam, all you really have to know is that, first of all, Microsoft is never going to just call you out of the blue saying that your computer has a virus. They don't monitor any of that. They're certainly not going to call from Windows. And even if you bought a computer from like Dell or HP or whatever, they are not going to be monitoring your computer for viruses. They don't just call people up. That's on you. So unless you specifically call into Microsoft yourself using an official number on Microsoft's website, and maybe then if they tell you to go to that page, then it's probably legitimate. But if someone calls out of the blue that you were not expecting and telling you to do all this stuff, it's a scam. All right, up next we have a scam where the general idea is not new, but they're always coming up with new techniques, obviously, and that is overpayment scams. And the overall outline of this scam is that for whatever reason, the scammer will get you to accept payment for something. And this will be for a lot of different reasons. We can give examples in a minute, but basically they will pay you some amount and it will be more than the amount that you two agreed on. And they'll say, oh my gosh, we paid you too much. Can you just send the difference back? So maybe they'll send you a check for $5,000 when they only intended to send you $500 or whatever, and they'll say, oh, can you send us $4,500 back via wire transfer or something like that? And of course, after you send the money back, then the bank will realize that it was either a fake check or a stolen credit card or whatever, and then they will deduct the full $5,000 from you. So then not only is the $5,000 from the check deducted, but whatever you also sent them as reimbursement is also gone, so you might be down a ton of money. And like I said, this might take several different forms. One example is a fake job offer. So you might see this on Craigslist, or you might get an email from a fake recruiter, and they'll hire you for a job and say, oh, we'll give you some money for office supplies, for example, and say, we'll give you $1,000 so you can go buy a computer and all this, and they'll send you a check for $2,000. And then Basically, they'll ask you, oh, can you just send the difference back or something like that? And then, of course, you're screwed because after you send that back, the bank will deduct it and then they disappear. You might also be selling something online, like a couch or whatever, and they'll say, oh, we'll send payment ahead of time. And then same deal goes. They send you too much, they ask for the difference, you get the idea. Another common way they'll do this is, again, for whatever reason, they'll be having an excuse to pay you for something, and then they'll send you the money, but instead of saying, oh, we sent you too much, can you send it back? They'll say, oh, by the way, can you just forward the rest of this money to my friend or whatever? I'm outside the United States and I can't send my friend money who really needs money. Can you just take my deposit and then send the rest to them? And the result is the same. You forward this money to the friend, which is actually them, and they take the money. Or also, as part of another fake job scam, is they'll pay you a fake check to go buy supplies, but then these supplies are something that they tell you to buy specifically, which is like their product. So it might be some, BS online. They're saying, oh yeah, we need you to go and buy all this product for our company. We'll give you the money to do it, instead of them just buying it directly, which would make way more sense. They have these new employees buy all the product, and of course, the money's gone after you pay it. So I think you get the idea. Just be careful of these online payments where they either send you too much or they want you to send a different amount to other people. It might be a scam. Okay, we're up to number 3, and this is also a relatively brand new scam that just came out during the Bitcoin boom of 2017. And these are Twitter cryptocurrency scammers, but they might appear on other social media websites as well. Basically, what happens is a scammer will create all these different fake profiles meant to resemble a famous person on Twitter or whatever, and they'll use the same profile picture, the same username, and try to make the handle as close to possible as the original as they can. Then once they have these impersonating accounts, they will reply to these different tweets that the legitimate person makes and basically say, oh, we're doing a Bitcoin giveaway, or we're doing a cryptocurrency giveaway. All you have to do is send us this amount of Bitcoin and we'll send you back 5 times the amount of Bitcoin. And you'll see this all over the place, not so much anymore, but I guarantee if Bitcoin, the price starts going up again, you will start seeing these. They were all over the place in 2017 and the beginning of 2018. And after a while, it almost became funny because these scammers were just getting so cheeky and clever that you kind of had to laugh. So here's one example. This Twitter user is CZ. He's the creator of the Binance cryptocurrency exchange. It's really huge. Anyway, here he is literally tweeting about how he doesn't want to do giveaways because it would legitimize and confuse people about scammers out there doing fake giveaways. So here he is saying, yeah, I don't want to do giveaways. And then a scammer fake account literally replies, yet today only, this once, we'll hold one just for you. And you would see this even in cases of the people saying, I never do a giveaway. You will never see me offer a giveaway. And then literally the scammers will reply with that with, you know what, except today. Today's the only exception. We'll give you a giveaway. Here it is. And it's a scam. Even trickier though, that you really had to watch out for, was that some scammers were able to hack into actually verified accounts and then modify the profile picture and the username to look like the person they were pretending to be. So this example is the Monster Jobs Twitter account, and you can see the handle is still the same because if you change the handle, you lose the verified badge, but they changed the profile picture and the username to Elon Musk, and then they replied with a fake scam giveaway. And if you had not looked at the username, you would have thought, oh my gosh, Elon Musk is doing a giveaway. And a similar thing happened to another account where they were impersonating the Bittrex exchange account. So they had another one, they changed the profile picture and username to be that and replied with a scam. And in other instances, it was even worse, where legitimate high profile verified accounts were hacked, such as the Target Twitter account. Yes, the actual Target account was hacked. They sent out a fake tweet with a giveaway, and then on top of that, the scammers promoted that tweet. They paid to promote that fake Target tweet to everyone, and it was actually from the Target account, so people probably believed it. And not only that, the same exact thing happened to the official G Suite account from Google. They did the same thing. They tweeted out, hey, we're doing a giveaway, and then promoted it so even more people saw it. So needless to say, if you ever see a giveaway of some sort of cryptocurrency on the internet, be extremely skeptical. All right, number 4 is a scam that not a lot of people probably know goes on, but it is really, really sketchy, and that is astroturfing. Now, this isn't as much of a scam where they're gonna take your money and steal it from you, but it is very misleading. And what astroturfing is when a company will hire people to pretend to be real people online and basically shill their product and pretend to endorse it online and say, oh my gosh, I'm just a regular person, I bought this thing and it's so great, convincing people on a number of social media websites to buy whatever they want that they're promoting. And I actually have a personal first-hand experience with this that I can give you as an example. So at one point, I was looking up information about Eames chairs, which are lounge chairs, on Reddit, and I was looking up different posts about these, and I started noticing that pretty much every post about these had people talking about these different manufacturers of replica chairs, which are basically knockoffs. And every single one would have different people mentioning the same few companies. They're saying, oh, I have this chair from this company and it's great. And eventually I started to get a little bit suspicious, so I started clicking on the actual profiles of these people who were leaving all these comments saying how great these companies were. And sure enough, when I went to them, I realized that these accounts were completely fake, and every single one of the comments and posts was just purely promoting this one product or this one company, and it was so obvious once you looked at it. Look at this one, for example. The username is Richard Smeltzer, and they said, $3,999 is too expensive. You can get it at $1149 at Barcelona Designs. You scroll down on the same exact thread, another one, Dana_Smith. Are you starting to see a pattern here? Oh my gosh, $3,999, horrible cost. You can get best Eames chair ottoman at, you get the idea. And in this case, I mean, they were terrible at it. They had the same format of names. It was first name underscore last name. Like, come on, they're not even being creative here. They probably were automatically generated accounts. And like I said, when you look at these posts, it's all like the same exact post or the same variation of the posts, only commenting on posts about the same chair, and it's just ridiculous. And there was other companies too. Again, on the same thread, there was the username yo_buddy, and this time they were promoting Manhattan Design. And again, you go to the profile, it's the same deal, all just shill posts, pretending to be a person and pretending to promote this product that they supposedly bought, but it's just a joke scam. Needless to say, I definitely did not buy from any of those companies after I realized what they were doing. So basically, if you're ever looking for reviews online and the person seems to be a little bit too happy or too excited about a product, definitely look at their post history to make sure that they are not a shill. All right, finally, number 5, we have App Store subscription scams. Now, scammers have been trying to take advantage of the App Store on Google and Apple for a long time, and this is not going to change anytime soon. But a lot of times, they don't just get you to buy something, but they rather try to get you to actually subscribe and keep paying the scammer and tricking you into that subscription. And scammers will do this in any number of ways. They're always coming up with new ways. I'll give you one example on Android and iOS, both of them. So on Android, here's one where this app basically gives you a bunch of pop-ups back to back. And the first one just says, oh, can you confirm these terms of service? And then after you do that, it pops up another one. Yeah, same. Can you just again confirm these terms of service? And of course, they're hoping that you'll just keep tapping through. And then once it gets to the third pop-up, it is the Google Play subscription confirmation. And they're hoping you just tap that without even looking. And then boom, you're now subscribed and paying $5 a week to the scammer. And notice how carefully they laid out these pop-ups to look as close to the subscription confirmation as possible. At the top right, with the actual confirmation, it has a price, and yet in the fake pop-ups, it has a green text that says 2 out of 3. So, you know, your eye, if you're not looking at it, it looks like the general shape and colors of the pop-up. All the fonts are the same. Really, really tricky here. And again, not just on Android, but sometimes these sneak through even on iOS. Here's another recent version of a scam that basically used Touch ID in an extremely clever way. What would happen is this iPhone app would basically tell the person, oh, you know, to set up the app, we just need to scan your fingerprint, which first of all, doesn't make sense. But they would tell you, you know what, just hold your finger on the fingerprint sensor on the home button for 10 seconds and you'll be good to go. Meanwhile, while you're holding your finger down, it will pop up a subscription confirmation, which usually requires you to press on the fingerprint sensor, which you're already doing. So when it does this, without you even realizing, it pops it up, confirms it, you're now paying, and then it pops it down without even potentially you realizing it or knowing what happened. Now, fortunately, Apple recently started adding an extra confirmation box for subscriptions, which is good. It should help mitigate this type of scam at least. So if you even were to do this and hold your finger down, it would now pop up and say, hey, do you really want to subscribe to this? And should stop it. But these scammers might even come up with something new. They might do a similar thing as on the Android, where they'll give you a bunch of fake pop-ups, hoping that you'll just press the confirmation button again and not read it. And obviously, these are just two examples. I'm sure that scammers are constantly trying every single day to come up with new clever ways to get you to press that subscription button without realizing it. And just for fun, here's another related type scam that has to do with subscriptions, but it's almost like a reverse subscription scam. And it's a phishing email that you might receive, and it will look like an Apple receipt that says, hey, thank you for subscribing to YouTube Red or whatever, and your price is now $150 a week or whatever. And you're gonna think, oh my gosh, I didn't want to pay for that, let me cancel that. And you click the cancel link on the email, but it's not a real email, and it takes you to a fake page that's not really Apple, and it'll ask you, oh, to cancel this, we just need to get all this personal information. You type it in, and now the scammers have it. So clearly, scammers are getting cleverer and cleverer by the day, but hopefully this video will help you to kind of start to think how they do. So if you see something that seems a little bit suspicious on the internet, or you get an email, or you see a pop-up on an app that doesn't seem right, you'll know what to look for. Now, if you happen to know any scams that you saw recently, be sure to let us know down in the comments, and might be interesting to read what other people have to say, so definitely look down there as well. If you want to keep watching, I'll put some other videos right here you can click on, including a video I made about phone scams a little while back, so kind of similar, should be pretty interesting. If you want to subscribe, I make a couple videos a week, so it should be worth it. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.